Hello everybody, this is Lost from Thriftale. Today I will be reading Claire the Doll by Christopher Balzano and Tim Weisberg. This is supposedly a true story, so stay safe everybody. When Jill was 8 years old, she was given an old porcelain doll by a dear family friend, Miss Marcine. The kindly old woman was always dropping by Jill's home and leaving her gift. This doll was the last thing that she gave her before she passed away. Jill was never really into dolls, but was delighted to have a new keepsake from her beloved friend. She gave the doll a place of honor, seating it in a child-sized rocking chair beside the nightlight. The doll was rather pretty, with pink lips, brown eyes, and rosy peach cheeks. Dark brown hair hung in slightly frizzled and now loose curls. It wore a peach and cream-colored dress with an apron and petticoats, and little black Mary Jane shoes that, when removed, showed delicately painted toenails. The doll's body was soft fabric, and its head, forearms, hands, and legs from beneath the knees down were porcelain. The doll almost looked like Jill. In fact, Miss Marcine made a point of saying the doll reminded her of young Jill, and that's why she gave it to her. While there was definitely a strong resemblance between the girl and the plaything, perhaps Miss Marcine had other reasons for wanting the doll out of her own home. Jill named the doll Claire, and from the moment it entered her house, frightening things began to happen. It was uneasy with Claire, Jill said. I never wanted to touch her, and when I played in my room, it was as if she was watching me. It wasn't anything to panic about, but I do remember feeling like if I did something wrong, she might actually tell on me. How ridiculous does that sound? The activities surrounding Claire began one night when Jill was reading in her room, a box of ghost stories, perhaps not coincidentally. She was jarred by the sound of the carousel horse that sat on her dresser, springing to musical life. It wasn't just a few odd notes like an old mechanical music box is known to emit from a slight vibration to its pedestal, but the entire song as if it was fully wound. Jill sat there in disbelief, watching the little horse move up and down in time with music. This couldn't be happening. Even her 8-year-old mind knew that. She wasn't afraid as much as she was shocked. Then, as quickly as it started, the music horse had just stopped. I was a pretty brave kid. I didn't run and tell my mom, said Jill. She'd seen a figure she called the Shadow Man throughout her life, but her parents never believed her, so she simply stopped talking about it. If Mom wouldn't believe me about that, she wouldn't believe me about anything as mundane as a music box, so I let it go. Not long after that incident came the voice. For several nights, Jill was awakened by a woman several inches from her face shouting, "Jill, wake up!" Jill instantly jumped out of bed, only to find her room empty. Although the woman was shouting her name died down after a few months, the phenomena moved onto her younger brother. After they were both grown and out of the house, the woman started screaming in her father's face while he slept, and she still does to this day. But even with the woman no longer shouting her awake at night, other little things began to happen. Jill would put an item in a certain place, only to find it later on the floor right in front of the door. Any item that went missing, and many did, would end up near Claire. One time, Jill even found a missing ring in the pocket of the doll's apron. Other strange things occurred around the doll as well. Books fell off shelves and a perfume scent enveloped the room without any verifiable cause. The night that changed Jill's opinion of Claire from the bigot trickster to malevolent force sounds like something straight out of a horror movie. She woke to thumping sounds coming from near her closet. Her sleepy eyes were drawn to the nightlight in the corner of the room and to the rocking chair in which Claire sat. Terror gripped her as she saw where the thumping sound was coming from. The rocking chair was swaying back and forth on its own. Staring at the doll, Jill saw its feet, which had previously been pointed in opposite directions, slowly straightened themselves until they were both pointing up. In a moment of horror that still haunts Jill's nightmares to this day, the doll turned its head towards Jill, which should have been impossibly since it was affixed to her cloth body, its lifeless eyes staring straight into her soul. At that exact moment, all 4 music boxes in Jill's room began to play in a full-out cacophony of creepiness. Jill was frozen with fear and screamed out for her parents. As soon as she did, all the music boxes all stopped at once, although Claire continued to stare at Jill. Yet even after that, Jill couldn't bring herself to get rid of Claire. She stuffed the doll in a box in the back of the storage closet and never allowed another one in her room. Even though Jill thought about Claire over the years, it wasn't until she shared this story with me that she realized a connection between Claire and Miss Marcine that might explain the spirit attached to the doll. Miss Marcine had sworn the house she lived in was haunted by spirits of the victims of a horrendous train accident that happened less than a mile from her home in 1900. 38 people died as the train plunged into a flooded creek. Miss Marcine was never quite sure where the doll came from. She found it while cleaning out a closet and had no recollection of ever buying or receiving it as a gift. Miss Marcine placed the doll on a shelf, and soon weird things began happening. Cigar smoke materializing and blowing in her face, disembodied voices and footsteps coming from the basement, and glass breaking with no shards to be found. Perhaps the strangest incident following the doll's arrival was the day that Miss Marcine found a set of golden teeth in her toilet. Miss Marcine also reported nights in which she would be tucked into bed by unseen hands. The doll was known to move on its own throughout the house, from shelf to stool to sofa, all with no explanation as how it got there. The doll could have been possessed by the spirit of one of the victims in the train wreck. Maybe it was even the train when the accident happened. Perhaps it was the cause of the incident. If a doll can tuck an elderly woman into bed and make music boxes perform on command, who is to say that it couldn't also force a train to plunge into the murky depths of a swell creek? Dolls are meant to be a thing of beauty, to be treasured and played with and loved by little girls who care for them. Claire, however, was probably meant to be right here. Jill put it in a box in the back of the storage closet, forever. I hope you all enjoyed my reading of Claire the Doll by Christopher Balzano and Tim Weisberg. This is an exclusive excerpt of the brand new book, Haunted Objects, Stories of Ghosts on Your Shelf, an exploration of unsettling accounts of unexplained paranormal activity surrounding everyday items. Just remember to keep an eye on all of your dolls, children. They might just come after you like Claire did.